Hola, buenas tardes. Today we're going to be talking about our vocab for chapter 2A. This is one of my favorite chapters because we finally get to do reflexive verbs, which I love, and they're so much easier than verbs with like indirect object pronouns or direct object pronouns. These actually will do what you want them to do, or they work the way you want them to work, the way you want direct and indirect object pronouns to work. I'm going to try to get through this without any interruptions, but James is awake, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so first up, we have acostarse. Acostarse is an O to UE sem-changing verb, and all of our reflexive verbs are going to end in se. And what that means is that we are going, that means that this action is done to ourselves, where the direct object, the person receiving the action, so to whom, or not to whom, so, who or what is receiving the action of the verb, so who or what is going to bed, it's also the subject. So that's what that say on the end of all of these verbs means. So this is to go to bed. I'm going to show you an example of what a conjugated reflexive verb looks like at the end of this. Okay. Afeitarse is to shave. Arreglarse is to arrange, and then when we talk about it like with our hair, so arreglarse el pelo is to fix one's hair. Bañarse is to take a bath or to bathe. So a lot of these verbs, you can use them reflexively or non-reflexively, because like I give this kid a bath, but so I wouldn't use a reflexive pronoun there, but when I take a bath myself, when I clean myself, I would use a reflexive verb because I'm the one doing the action to myself. Okay, cepillarse, and then you would use that with like los dientes or el pelo. That's to brush. So the teeth or the hair. With these, we don't use a possessive pronoun because that reflexive pronoun, that se, will tell us that we're doing it to ourselves. We'll get more into this when we take notes over it. Cortarse, el pelo, to cut one's hair. Despertarse is an E to IE sem-changing verb, and that's to wake up. If you remember doing our objects in the room, we had el despertador, which was the alarm clock. It was the thing that did the act of despertar. It was the waker upper. So now we actually get that verb to wake up. I tend to get acostarse and despertarse mixed up, to wake up and to go to sleep, because I think acostarse starts with an A. That's the one that you do first. Which I guess if you think about it in the sleep cycle, that could work. But I kind of think that despertarse is like depressing, and it's depressing to wake up. That's how I remember it. Ducharse is to shower, to take a shower. Levantarse is to get up or to stand up. And so if you remember doing classroom commands, levántense, stand up, it's like pick yourself up. Lavarse, with la cara, is to wash one's face. You can also use that with like las manos, lavarse las manos, to wash your hands. Pedir prestado, this one's not a reflexive verb. This is to borrow. And then if you're borrowing from someone, yo pido prestado a whatever. Pintarse is to paint oneself, and then las uñas are your fingernails or your toenails. It's just nails. It's not nails like what you need to do a construction project. Ponerse is to put on, and don't forget that ponerse has an irregular yo form, which is pongo. Prepararse is to get ready, so it's to prepare oneself. James is doing the up and down dance. Secarse is to dry oneself, and vestirse is to get dressed. So vestirse is an E to I sem-changing verb in the present tense, and it is an E to I sem-changing verb in the preterite tense. As we go through these, being in Spanish 3, my cat is making noise. We're going to be using the preterite and the present tense interchangeably because we can do that now. We're in Spanish 3. Quitarse, I'm adding this one into your vocab list. This is to take off. So to take off your pajamas, to take off whatever. And then we get into some of these things that we put on and then we take off. So the first one we have is el agua de colonia, and that's cologne. El cepillo, this is a brush, and you can have like el cepillo de pelo would be a hairbrush. El cepillo de dientes would be a toothbrush. El cinturón is a belt. La cintura is the waist. And so el cinturón goes around la cintura. El desodorante, it's a cognate deodorant. La ducha is a shower. Please be mature. El gel is gel, like hair gel. Las joyas are jewelry. So then we have like las joyas de oro would be gold jewelry, and las joyas de plata would be silver jewelry. Oro and plata are the nouns themselves for gold and silver. Los labios are your lips. El maquillaje is makeup. And down, kid. And then I'm adding another verb in here to your list, which is maquillarse, and that's to put on makeup. El peine is a comb, and it is very important that you pronounce your I, and not say el pene, because el pene is boy parts. El peine is comb. So be careful with your pronunciation. El pelo is hair. Another word for hair is el caballo. El cabello. I apologize. El cabello is hair. El caballo is a horse. So el pelo is the one that we will use more frequently for hair. El salón de belleza is a beauty salon. El secador is a blow dryer. So it's a dryer, right? Because secar is to dry. So then we have secador when we add that DOR to the end of a word that makes it something that does that verb. La toalla is a towel. Las uñas are your nails, finger or toenails. So if you're talking about like specifically toenails, las uñas del pie. And then just las uñas would be fingernails. La audición is an audition. So we have like some fancy event things. La boda is a wedding. La cita is a date. El concurso, a contest. Un evento especial is a special event. Entusiasmado is excited. That's like enthusiastic. Nervioso or nerviosa is nervous. And tranquilo or tranquila is calm. These are all words that you would use with estar to talk about how you feel. Antes de is before. Whenever we have a verb that's going to come next, like before showering, I take off my clothes, or before going to bed, I put on my pajamas. So we would have an infinitive after antes de. Antes de acostarme, before I go to bed, me pongo mis pijamas, or me pongo las pijamas. I put on my pajamas. Okay. Next up, we have cómoda or cómodo or cómoda, and that's comfortable. Depende, it depends. Elegante, elegant. Lentamente, James, what are you doing? Stop pushing buttons. Lentamente is slowly. Anytime we see this M-E-N-T-E, it is the L-Y ending. Luego is then or later. Like I do this. Me pongo me pongo las pijamas y luego me acuesto, and later I go to bed. Por ejemplo, if you don't know por ejemplo by now from my notes, I'm sad for you. For example, rápidamente is the opposite of lentamente. It's quickly or rapidly. And then te ves, and then bien, or any sort of adjective. You look. Te ves bien, te ves cómoda, you look comfortable. Okay? Then we have these called possessive pronouns. So they're not possessive adjectives like what we've typically had. These are another way to say like mine and yours and stuff like that. We don't use these a whole lot. So we have mío, mía, mío, míos, mía, and mías, and that's mine. Like, este niño es mío. This kid is mine. Tuyo, tuyos, tuya, tuyas, yours. That's the informal yours. Suyos, suyos. Oh my gosh, everybody's in the way. Here comes the cat. Suya and suyas. His, hers, yours, belonging to usted. Oh my word, sorry guys. Or theirs or y'all's belonging to ustedes. Next up, we have nuestro, nuestros, nuestra, and nuestras. That's ours. Like la toalla es nuestra. The towel is ours. And then vuestro, vuestros, vuestra, vuestras is y'all's belonging to vosotros. Oh my word, this is the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at a reflexive verb just as an example, and I will give notes on reflexive verbs soon. So acostarse, whenever we have a reflexive verb, that means we're doing the action to ourselves. So what's going to happen is this se is going to move to the beginning and become a separate word. So this se is going to change to either me, te, se, nos, os, or se, depending on who the subject is. And then I'm going to conjugate my verb like it's a regular verb. Acuesto, acuestas, acuesta, acostamos, acostáis, acuestan. This one happens to be a stem changing verb. Okay, and it would look exactly the same in, stop pushing buttons. I don't even know what he's pushing. Sorry. It would look exactly the same in the preterite with the me, te, se, nos, os, se. Me acosté, te acostaste, se acostó, nos acostamos, os acostas, hang on, acostastes, and se acostaron would be what it would be in the preterite tense. Like I said, we're going to take notes over this in a couple of days, but I just wanted you to see what it looks like. Sorry about kind of the disjointed instruction. Hopefully, I was planning on him taking a nap later than he did, but I wanted to get this done and ready for you guys for tomorrow. If you have questions, please let me know. Have a wonderful day. Say adios. Adios.